Beautiful question. I'm going to speak on the question, and then I also actually have a specific suggestion. So he's asked that he has spent most of his life working with families who have children with disabilities. As a professional first, and then now since retirement through social work in India. And he said that one of the things that he has found in India is that when they try to help these children with disabilities, the parents actually tell them not to help because they feel like the children have disabilities due to very specific karma. Karma of the parents, karma of the children's. And if they intervene and therefore fix or help the situation in some way, mitigate it in some way, that it would be thwarting somehow that karmic path, and that it would prevent the children then from coming back in their next birth without disabilities and in a better sense. Wow. I believe it so much, and yet, every day you just realize more and more challenges to the work. And first of all, congratulations for continuing to do this work. It's so beautiful. The world needs people like you. The concept of karma and how it interplays here. One of the things that we always explain is that our karma, our package deal of karma, is what has brought us to this moment. You can't change this moment. Whatever we have has been given to us as the sum total of the fruits of all of our actions from our past lives, from earlier this life, and we can't trade it in. And yet, that which we do in this moment is planting the seeds for the next moment. So if in this moment, what I've got is an apple tree, for example, and that apple tree gives apples, I can't wave a magic wand and turn it into a peach tree. Because this apple tree is the sum total of all of my karma. And it's been given to me not as a punishment, not as a reward. We always reiterate to people that the universe does not function with rewards and punishments. We may say an apple tree is bad, a peach tree would have been great. But the universe has no subjective judgment. To the universe, a rainy day is just a rainy day, a sunny day is a sunny day. We say, oh my God, it was such a bad day, right? It was raining. It was a bad day. I hope tomorrow's a better day, meaning a sunny day. But to the universe, there's no such judgment. So that which we've been given is not a matter of reward and punishment. It's just been given as in, I've planted an apple seed, therefore, I have an apple tree. No judgment, no better or worse. If I wanted a peach tree, I should have planted a peach seed. No amount of peach tree chanting, or peach tree mantras, or peach asanas, or peach gurus, or we laugh, and yet this is exactly what we do. I should do the peach puja so that my stars will align according to peaches, and tomorrow my apple tree is going to be a peach tree. If I want a peach tree, I have to plant a peach seed. So if I've got an apple tree, there's 2 pieces to that, or 3 pieces. Number 1, you can be sure that at some point in my life I've planted an apple seed, if I have an apple tree today. But along with that is a constant reminder to ourselves, and in your position to the people you're working with, that there is nothing wrong with it. This is not a punishment. It's not that you've done something wrong, therefore you have an apple tree. Or that planting an apple seed was somehow bad, and God is angry, and therefore you have an apple tree. So point number 1 is the apple tree, somewhere there was going to be a cause, which is an apple seed. Point number 2, if what I want in the future is a peach tree, I need to plant a peach seed. Now, of course, that doesn't relate to children, but we'll come back to that. But point number 3 is just as important, which is seeds take a while to sprout and to blossom into trees. And even if I have planted a peach seed today, that doesn't mean that by afternoon I'm going to have peaches. And so part of my duty, my journey, my karma, is to figure out with this apple tree, okay, it wasn't what I wanted. I'm allergic to apples. They give me hives. Can I, instead of just rejecting these apples and waiting for my peach tree to blossom and bemoaning every day that it hasn't blossomed, bemoaning every day that I don't have peaches, can I either perhaps learn how not to be allergic to apples, or if I'm definitely allergic to apples, well, can I invite the local school children to come and to pick my apples? Or can I learn how to make apple sauce or apple pie and give it to people who are hungry and in need, people who are sick, people who have just lost a loved one? Can I use these apples as a blessing? So in the case of these parents, I think it's so important to remind them that even though, yes, they've been given this child due to some set of circumstances in the past, some set of conducive circumstances, that this child took birth with them, that this situation is what's most conducive to that child's spiritual growth, to their spiritual growth. That doesn't mean that they should stick, a glass dome over the apple tree so that it suffocates and dies, and cover that glass dome with a black cloth so it can't do photosynthesis. There's nothing in the universe that says if you've got something that isn't what you wanted, kill it or prevent it from growing. All we're taught is love it, accept it, recognize it as part of your spiritual path, and see how you can grow with it. And so what I would encourage you to do with the parents is help them see that this challenge is part of their spiritual path. But just as they would never deprive the child of food or water, which it needs to grow. Or if it got sick, they would never say, well, I'm not going to give medicine to my child because somehow that would prevent it from fulfilling its karma. Or if that child were sick, what parent would ever say, oh, I guess it's my child's karma to be sick, I can't give it medicine because maybe God wanted it to die? We would understand that, okay, maybe on some level, the sickness was there for us to learn from. Sickness was there for us to see and move through. But that when the sickness is present, well, of course we have to do whatever we can do to help mitigate the sickness, alleviate the sickness. And if there are tools to alleviate the suffering of children who are challenged in that way, then of course we need to make use of it. The last piece on a very, very specific level that I'm thinking is maybe at some point, we can stay in touch with you and we could have Pujya Swamiji in Hindi, in Punjabi, in Gujarati, give a 30-second, 1 minute, something that you can take with you as a religious leader, as a guru, and that wherever you're working, whatever language they speak, wherever you find this sort of obstacle, you can actually have a very short, very simple, in their language, video of a master telling them, don't worry, let these people help your children. Helping these children also is your karma and your dharma. And you need to do whatever you can do to help make that path as smooth as you can. So I think that that's also something that we could probably help with for you.